welcome you back to another episode of the Student Section Podcast, a podcast for students and by student athletes. We're here today, very, 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 very important and special guest. You've been trying to get on this for 3 years, and you finally made it. Jason Schofield, my dear friend, Nate Babcock, my co-host, William Rosen, as usual. So happy to be here. I'm very excited for you to be here downstairs in LT.
I'm very excited myself. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Nate, you actually live with Jason, right?
Yeah, that's right. Different, relationship here. It's kind of fun.
How do you, when Jason comes home after a long day of practice, do you talk? Are you a talker? Or are you like automatic sleep?
Oh yeah, I'll talk.
Okay.
We hang out. We hang out, play some FIFA, play some UFC maybe. Yeah, we have a good time in our dorm. Yeah.
Just download Mortal Kombat. We're going at it. Yeah.
Who's a better gamer out of you two?
Right.
Really?
He's got it. He's got it. Yeah, he's beat me in FIFA a few too many times. Yeah.
Do you think, since both of you are, you're a little different, right? You're playing the sport and you're talking sports. Do you think that kind of helps your relationship as roommates?
Yeah, I would say for sure. We talk about, professional sports, college sports all the time. We're both Celtics fans, so we always watch
and that's been I respect the Celtics, but I don't think this is the year for them. Nate, I know you're a huge Celtics fan and you're a huge basketball fan. Where you live with all the basketball players, actually. Where do you find yourself when talking about basketball? Are you more of a hot takes guy or more of a look at the analytics?
I do a little bit of both. I don't really go for the hot takes. I got the Nate's takes, but everything's rooted in analytics. And if it comes off as a hot take to someone else, that's their problem, not mine. And, that's kind of better for the engagement. But I think as far as living with these guys, my background in basketball, I played basketball throughout high school, and I've watched it my entire life. That is, like, my favorite TV show. So it's kind of, given me insight into their world, and kind of just, the conversation flows naturally because of it.
Do you think, Jason, that when you step onto the court, your mindset, I know it's Marist and it's mid-major basketball, but are you kind of trying to make it known that you're here to perform at this level, or are you trying to kind of make yourself known as an individual?
I would say, a little bit of both. Definitely like make myself known as an individual for sure. Growing up, I was always pretty good at basketball. I definitely took a big jump over COVID. So ever since then, I've definitely just been trying to make myself known, especially being from the area. Definitely just make myself known.
You said you're from the area. You're from Poughkeepsie originally, South Kent, but you're back at Poughkeepsie. In a year last year where you actually played minutes, you redshirted your first year. How great was it to actually play where you grew up?
It was awesome. Obviously the first game, there was little nerves, little probably extra nerves after not playing in a year and also playing in front of so many people who I love. But, they all support me, so it was really great. Every home game is just something to look forward to, like more than away games. Obviously, I love away games, but there's something different about those home ones.
You redshirted your first year. You probably learned a lot. What was the biggest thing that you learned that first year?
Honestly, just the basketball-wise, definitely just the intensity, the physicality of college basketball. You're playing against some guys 25, 26 years old, It's just a different type of strength, different, especially as a big man. It's just you're always hitting, you're always pounding. It's definitely just a different type of strength in college.
And it was kind of a different vibe that first year. Max was here that first year when you weren't playing. You probably battled with him down in the paint, obviously, and then Max left and you kind of took over with Tariq and Jackson, that big man spot. How did Max's game differ than yours, Tariq's, and Jackson's?
I definitely learned a lot from Max. I took a lot of his post moves, honestly, kind of stole the moves. He definitely helped me out. He definitely helped me out a lot in, touch. Same with Jackson, just playing against him every day for 2 years. The physicality, everything that goes along with that helps a lot. It really does. And then Tariq, very physical guy, just totally helps a lot. Learned a lot from those three.
Yeah, obviously on the court, Max is an animal, but off the court, he's quite the character. What would you say your favorite Max Allen moment is?
There was one time. We were somewhere, and it was just a ton of people there, all hanging out, having a good time, right? This dude pulls out, he broke his phone.
Okay.
Pulls out a whole iPad and starts watching TikTok on the iPad. Obviously you could see him out of everybody. So you just look out, you see a bunch of people, you just see his head, him on the iPad. That was a funny moment.
Max is 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, probably, yes.
That I would actually pay to see that.
It was a
I
fun
know
event.
you mentioned your family, and I had to bring it up because
Yes.
obviously they're going to be watching this.
They
you
will.
know
For
it.
sure.
For those who don't know, Jason has quite possibly the best family. I'm serious. Your family is the best family I've ever met. Your grandparents, your mom, your dad. Every single game I have ever done since they've been here, they are the nicest to me, and I want to say absolute thank you for them for really giving me like support before the game for what I do, and I try and offload that back to you through them. And how have you grown with them over the years?
Yeah, I mean, they are definitely the best family. 100%. They always support me at every game. They even support Will's Twitter page. Always looking at what he posts. Shout out
I
Will.
always get a like. And I was like, oh yeah.
Shout out Will. But yeah, they've helped me so much. I mean, I could be here all night talking about my family. They really mean the world to me. Everything they've done, all the sacrifices to get me to where I'm at, it really it means the world.
Your grandparents are the
Yes.
are the sweetest.
The
They are
sweetest,
just great.
yes.
So
Greatest
we
people.
send our love.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you guys.
I can attest to that. The red velvet cake was pretty good. Yeah.
Homemade?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
That was some good cake.
Yeah. What's
That
what's
was.
the best thing that they've made for you?
I mean, my grandpa used to own a store, so he's a great chef.
What kind of
not gonna
store?
lie. It was kind of supermarket. He made dinners and everything. He makes this Captain Crunch chicken, which is phenomenal. That is phenomenal.
Captain, like the cereal?
Captain Crunch chicken, yes. It is
That
phenomenal.
is up there with Skyline Chili. And speaking of chili,
It is up there.
this is going to post probably in the next few days. We have played one game. You weren't active for that game. You were in Cincinnati playing at the Cintas Center. I would say one of, if not the coolest arenas that you've been in.
Yes.
How was that vibe playing a Big East school?
I mean, it was great. It definitely gave me a little bit of depression not being able to play. But it was just so much energy. You know, we had great energy on the bench, hyping up our team. There was points we were even louder than the fans there, I thought. But I mean, to play in front of that many, probably almost sold out. Like, just a really great atmosphere. It was definitely something special.
That student section was serious.
Yes,
I
they
don't think you can get that at a Canisius,
Yes.
probably.
No.
Yeah, but the student section had nothing on Tony.
No,
You know?
no.
Oh my
it
gosh.
doesn't.
He
Nothing
was
on
up
Antone.
at every basket.
Yeah. Oh, what does he bring to the team? You know, he's
Yeah.
vibe guy, hype guy. What do you get from him?
Tony Vlaginitis.
Yes. Vibe guy, hype guy, always just bringing great energy, great vibes, does the little things off the court. He's just always super locked in. I mean, we could, no matter if it's the day before MAAC championship game, you know, midsummer, that he's always locked in, always bringing good vibes to the team.
Well, Tony could say that he is the best shooter in Marist history. He is 100% from the
sir.
three-point line.
Yes,
That's what I
sir.
will say.
Never miss.
Something that you do different than a lot of players, especially in this modern college basketball route, is, yes, you redshirt, but you also have a very strong post game, and that is my favorite thing to watch when you play. I obviously I'm not tall like you. I'm comparatively maybe, but I grew up playing basketball my entire life. I fizzled out my height, but I never learned guard skills. I was always playing in the post, undersized. You have the size, and you use it to your advantage. What's so special about playing in the paint?
I mean, honestly, I really never was too big of a post guy until I got here. To go back to Max Allen, I definitely learned a lot of post moves from him. But I mean, I love it. It's a great opportunity to pass, get some great passes. Obviously, if I have a mismatch, take advantage of it. If it's a dude my size, maybe use my quickness to take advantage of that. But yeah, it's great. I really like playing out of the post, really.
His footwork from that first season when you didn't play, I mean, it looked like you played that entire year. That's how good the footwork was.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been incredible to watch you develop so far. How's the 3-point shot looking?
3-point shot's looking good. I mean, I've been injured for a while. It was something that I really I used to shoot a lot in high school, so it's something I really wanted to get back to in the off season. Unfortunately, with the injury and everything, I couldn't do that. But even now, just getting back into it, I'm definitely looking to improve my shooting.
All right, scenario. We got Parby Kabamba.
Yeah.
We got Tariq Watson.
Yeah.
We got you.
All right.
Who's making the most threes? 5 shots at each station.
I myself.
Yourself.
I myself.
Okay.
No hesitation.
No hesitation.
Yeah, I'll give. Let's play another one.
Okay.
You, Trace, and Jaden Daughtry.
Myself.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, confident.
Yeah.
You have one more?
You can put anybody in front of me. I'll say myself.
All right, we got a bit of an outside one. Who's got the best voice? You, Parby, or JCR?
I mean, Parby's got that.
Parby has quite the voice.
He's always whistling. Always whistling. It could be whatever time of day. He's woken me up from whistling. So that definitely, he does sing sometimes, sadly.
Sadly?
So I'll give it to Jaden. I haven't heard him sing, but knowing Parby and knowing myself, I'll
Nate, I thought you, were you talking about singing?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you meant like a vocal player in the locker room. I was like...
No, we're talking about singing. Parby Kabamba is quite the singer.
He is.
National anthem, SZA, Drake, anything
really?
you could think of, he is.
You can't compete?
I mean, the nickname's Osei.
Okay.
Because he sings the national anthem, and you'll hear him all throughout the day. Osei, can you see? So, yeah, it's definitely Parby.
There's so many characters on the team in a good way, but everyone has to be controlled by the coaching staff. The coaching staff, the last few seasons, has been pretty consistent. You bring in Curtis this year, you lose Drew, but how have you seen the coaching staff? How have they helped you in the last few years?
I mean, up and down the line, each one has helped me so much. Obviously, we lost Drew. I love Drew. Still love Drew. But all the coaches have helped a lot. Brandon, since I got here. Dilip, since I got here. Dan, since last year, has been great. Obviously, Coach Dunn has been great. They all really just care about us. Coach Curtis has been a great addition. Great guy. Super funny guy. But yeah, everyone just works together. Everyone has their own, strengths, some weaknesses, but the other coaches may pick up for that. Yep. But yeah, all the coaches do a terrific job.
First game at McCann is against Vassar. Vassar is not a D1 school, not a D2 school, a D3 school. Dan Bazzelli actually coached there. To open up a season against an opponent, you obviously, the goal, win the game. But what's the vibe going into that first home game?
I mean, truthfully, we definitely can't get too ahead of ourselves, They're a D3 program, but they're still a college basketball program for sure. But, just some stuff we have to work on. We'll probably work on that, focus on that, work as a team, just really get the win. That's all that matters. But, yeah, there's definitely going to be some areas we want to focus on to get better throughout the season.
All right, so you mentioned preparation, but what comes before the preparation? What's your favorite hype song?
Favorite hype song? I have a big, broad music taste, so, I mean, there'll be some games I'll be listening to Nirvana before the games. A day later, we have a game, I'm listening to Youngboy before the game. It really, whatever mood I'm in, I listen to that. It could be a slow song. Whatever I feel is going to get me hyped up, I'll listen to.
Sometimes they go, that DJ on the left side at McCann, oh my God, that's loud. That is loud, but he also plays a wide range of music.
Yes, he does.
Do you think that music, I know a lot of players, they have to listen to the same song, they have to do something. Is there something, whether it's music or extra outside of a McCann, that you have to do before every game?
Honestly, in high school, I was super superstitious. For sure.
Super superstitious.
Super superstitious. I had a bunch of things I had to do before a game, whether it's the way I tie my sneakers. And I don't know. It was probably throughout my redshirt year when I was just kind of like, I feel like my only superstition moving forward is to not have any. So I really don't have
So you kind of change it up every game?
Yeah, I change it up every game, and I think that works. I really like it, honestly.
Well, it worked last year. Last year, it felt like the team was in rhythm for the first time. I mean, you obviously had the best record in 25 years to start a season. Obviously, there was kind of an issue in the latter part of that season where some scoring wasn't there. But you got to Atlantic City in your first year playing. What was the atmosphere in Atlantic City like for you?
I mean, the atmosphere was great. Obviously, we would have liked to stay in Atlantic City. But, I mean, it was great. Nothing like the MAAC tournament. It's just super physical, just great energy all around. All the teams are staying in the ocean, the same hotel. So, I mean, you see everybody, you're going to be matched up against them tonight. It's a great energy to be around.
Yeah. Well, we're talking MAAC, so who do you got circled on the calendar? Any specific matchup?
I got Iona circled. I always have Iona circled.
Little Menard payback? Even though it's a very different team, but
yes,
Justin's definitely circled out.
Yeah, Justin definitely has circled. I think we only play them once, but definitely Iona. Obviously, Mount St. Mary's, get them back from last year. Those are the two that would be circled.
Besides for Quinnipiac and you guys, the conference always just goes through constant changes, but Amari Monroe kind of set the standard of the player in the MAAC right now.
For sure.
He's staying in the conference. He's staying at Quinnipiac, where he really could have gone to a Power 5 and potentially, he still could, obviously, but get an easier route to pro ball.
For sure.
What do you think of someone who made that decision?
I mean, it's very respectable. He actually went to South Kent also, Mari.
Okay.
So we have that in common. I didn't go with him, but he went after. But yeah, it's super respectable. I mean, to turn down to play for, the people you love, obviously as people he loves on campus, it's very applaudable.
There's so many South Kent connections. Every time we're talking,
South Kent is
who are some names that people would know that you played with?
So my year, we had Marco Jackson on the team. He's at Kansas.
Okay.
Papa Conte, who's at Pittsburgh.
Papa Conte, yeah.
Isaiah Watts, he's at Maryland now. Jalen Cox, he's at Colgate. Nate Garangomba, Quinnipiac, actually. I mean, I could keep going forever.
It's powerhouse.
There's so many. Yeah,
it's powerhouse.
Powerhouse, it is.
Did you think playing at South Kent after Poughkeepsie was the right move, looking back at it?
Yeah, for sure. I was actually planning on heading into my senior year before I reclassed up and joined Marist early, but it would have been great to have that senior year there. Obviously, we won the NEPSAC tournament the year before that. To try to run it back would have definitely been special, but obviously I got the opportunity to come here.
I would have loved to see you as like were you a shooter first?
I was.
Oh, I got to watch some game film.
Yes,
there.
I was. You do.
Yeah, well, sticking with high school, you played for PSA Cardinals. What was the vibe like in the EYBL circuits?
Yeah, I mean, the PSA, that holds a special place in my heart, really. I have built some of the best relationships ever with my coaches, my teammates. Actually, Justin Menard, we played together our 16U year. So really, that's just, I'll always tell anybody that is the best program for AAU basketball. But we had a great run. Like, I played 15s, 16s, and 17s with them. We had a great run all 3 years. Unfortunately, we couldn't win Peach Jam. But, I mean, playing in the EYBL is great. You're playing against high major Division I guys every game with high major Division I guys, NBA guys, so it's really great.
Yeah, you mentioned playing with high-level talent. You're the same age as some NBA players at this point. What's the player that surprised you the most that made it the farthest?
Interesting. I would have to say my old teammate, Hughes Missy.
Hughes.
Yeah, Hughes. He's playing on the Pelicans now. I mean, he was always great. 15U year to 16U was probably the biggest jump I've ever seen anybody make, and he's just continued to grow, and he's doing great in the NBA
He's
now.
a vital part of that Pelicans team.
Yeah. He's going to be great.
You're an NBA guy?
Yes, I am.
C's fan.
Yes.
Who's your favorite player on the C's right now?
I mean, it has been Tatum throughout the years.
Okay.
Obviously, he's not with it this year. Also a big Horford fan. Obviously, he's on Golden State now. But
Next, you're going to say Cornette, right?
I do love Cornette. Jaylen Brown, I love. Great dude. But they have a really good culture there, I feel, and it's a great team.
What do you take when you watch an NBA game versus playing or watching a college game?
I mean, NBA playoffs, I always feel is definitely different. It's just a different energy. I love watching the NBA playoffs.
It's the best.
There's some regular season games I can't watch, honestly. But, I mean, there's nothing beats college, the atmosphere, the student section. I'm always college first guy. We
were talking with Josh and Jaden last year, and I think one of them, or I know one of them, I forget which one, said they actually don't really watch the NBA. Do you find that common?
Yeah, honestly, a lot of guys don't. Yeah, a lot of people kind of turn away from it. I still like it. I still like the players, but I mean, it's just college is just so much better in my opinion.
I'll say it. Rarely do I disagree with someone. I disagree with that.
Interesting.
It's weird. I think just because I grew up on watching the NBA rather than watching college basketball, and then there's also really a divide in college basketball. There's the mid-major. It's also just harder to watch the accessibility on
for sure.
ESPN Plus or whatever network you have versus you're watching St. John's and Seton Hall battle every night.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to argue the continuity is better in the NBA, but there's so much revolving doors in there now. Yeah. But I think at this point it's just two different products. College basketball is so much more physical, allowed to defend. Defense is more of an art in college basketball rather than the NBA. Sure. But when you're watching college basketball, you're watching BYU scrimmage the other day. Who's the favorite non-Marist team to watch?
Non-Marist team to watch. Honestly, I always love watching my old teammates. Like I mentioned before, I have so many connections of guys throughout the country playing college basketball. I could turn on any given night throughout the season, and I played with him.
That's a cool feeling.
It's such a cool feeling, yes.
Especially when someone like Yves makes it to the NBA.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that, I'm sitting I watch Yves play, and it's crazy. It's really crazy how close of connections everyone has,
Definitely.
and then being here, The connections are so close
Yeah.
in the classroom and out of the classroom. Where do you find Marist to be in that highlight for you?
I mean, I always say this to everybody. I could say a couple things about what Marist has to offer, but honestly, it's just all around, in my opinion. It's just there's not a bad aspect, truthfully. I mean, between the social life, the students, the sports, academics, I don't find any
complaints?
negative. Yeah.
You?
The dining hall?
Not a fan? I'm not a fan either.
I can't. Jason, what dining hall food would you compare your game to?
Wait, before you answer
Ooh.
that is the
Wow.
signature student section question. Go ahead.
Interesting. Can it be an off-campus location?
Well, yeah, I want to hear your off-campus location.
I'm going to go with number 4, Rossi's at Donnelly. It's, for those who don't know, you got chicken cutlet, pesto,
Pepper,
roasted red peppers, mozzarella,
arugula.
I think we got all. Yeah, that is
Make
the
me
best.
hungry.
But the real Rossi's is 45
yeah.
times better than
Oh, yeah.
that. It's just harder to get.
No
You
doubt.
grew up in Poughkeepsie,
Mhm.
so you're very familiar with the food
yeah.
and the lifestyle scene here.
For sure.
What are some highlights on the lifestyle or events that you go to?
I mean, there's just so much to do around here, honestly, between like when I was little and still now, always going hiking with my dad, fishing with my dad. There's just so many cool places. I love nature, so there's just so much nature around. I mean, a couple weeks ago, even now, but a couple weeks ago, peak fall, you're
The
just
foliage is so nice.
driving down Route 9, you just see all the trees over the river. It's beautiful.
You grow up coming to games here?
Yes.
Football or basketball?
I went to football camp.
Really?
Yes. I went
You
to
played football
camp.
too?
I did, yeah. Only fifth grade.
Okay.
But I did go to football camp. I had a great time, actually. But, yeah, I went to a women's basketball game when I was little, men's basketball game, and it is definitely a cool feeling playing now.
That is the third or fourth person that has ever said that. Kira, her mom went here, Kira Croker, and she said the same thing. It's kind of just a weird, fun, mental, I don't want to say blockade, but you're playing on the same court as you grew up at.
Yeah.
That must feel pretty cool.
It's super cool. I mean, I mentioned Iona earlier. My brother went there, and we would always go down for whatever event it was, and we'd always try to make a game. So we would always watch the games, be in awe of these guys, and to play there, to play against them now. It's very, very cool.
What's something you want to ask Nate, whether it's living-wise or personal-wise?
Living-wise. I need that recipe to the penne alla vodka you made the other night, because that was some good stuff. That was.
No, no recipe. It's ShopRite jarred.
Oh my goodness.
No recipe needed.
It's put in pan and heat up?
Put in pan, heat up, maybe a little garlic powder, maybe a little paprika, and then
See,
you're
there's a little something.
kind of say, a little something, something.
Me and you then are very different when it comes to food.
Well, I haven't had the time to cook. I get home, I'm just dead. I have my leftover Rossi's sandwich from Donnelly, not
From like 4 days
the
ago.
45 times less worse one, and so that's my dinner. So
I always put a little brain power to making a good meal. I could be exhausted. I will sit down at like 8:45 in my bed for 5 minutes, and then I power on and make something good.
bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. Food, culture, basketball. Poughkeepsie native Jason, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys. I mean, you guys did all the work, really. You guys worked so hard, so thank you guys.
You're welcome back anytime. Good luck.
Great. Thank you.
Football Fanatics will be up next.
Welcome to the Football Fanatics. I'm Jonathan Chernin, joined by Matt. Now, the trade deadline has passed in the NFL.
It has.
And it was a huge trade deadline for our New York Jets.
It was.
It was a fantastic trade deadline, I would even say.
Some would say that. I'm a little bit indifferent about it, right? I mean, do I like getting the compensation with the picks? Yes. Obviously, you like having the choice to go anywhere in the future, right? You could go basically any quarterback. You can, acquire blue chip talent. But the draft picks, right? They're a lottery ticket. So the Jets got rid of two of their best defensive players, obviously. Sauce Gardner, 2-time All-Pro, top 5 cornerback in the league, and that's.
But what did he win?
What do you mean?
What did he win here?
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't win anything
but
here.
the thing, right? So you're trading blue chip talent that you can't like that comes very, very, very rarely for lottery picks. 5 lottery picks for Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner. You might get a Quinnen Williams or Sauce Gardner type player. You're most likely not, right? I understand if you get the call, right, 2 first-round picks from the Colts, a first, a second, Mozzie Smith, right, you have to accept. But guys like Sauce and Quinnen just don't come around often. And they're shoo-ins for the Ring of Honor, right? If they would have spent more time with the Jets, they would, like, Sauce is on Hall of Fame trajectory. You know what I mean? It's just really tough to let that kind of talent go.
I think the thing is Jet fans often tend to overrate Sauce Gardner and how good he might be.
Come on.
The Jets got more picks for Sauce than he's had with the Jets this year. So
Come on, the quarterbacks don't throw to him because he's locked down. People don't throw to him because he shuts down the side of the field.
Sauce gives up. He does not know how to tackle, which is why
he doesn't know
I
how
am
to tackle.
thrilled.
He doesn't know how to tackle.
I am thrilled that the New York Jets decided to do this because the worst organization in football has finally showed to us that they have a plan. Their plan is going for the future. Why waste the primes of Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, who at this point I think are a little bit overrated? Why waste their primes when you can go and invest in the future? Draft those guys. These guys have been here for 4+ years.
That's true. Quinnen Williams 7. No, that's 2018.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. They have not won anything here. The smartest thing possible for the New York Jets to do was to make these deals. And you have a team like the Colts who are having a phenomenal season, needed to make a move.
They needed to go all in.
They needed to go all in, and they did. And they overpaid. They
did.
overpaid for Sauce Gardner. You get a call, 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, you immediately take
They weren't
it.
actively shopping him, obviously.
Right.
The thing that I don't so I'm going to keep going on this.
Okay.
The Jets have been in this kind of situation before. I believe it was in 2000. They had 4 first-round picks or something like that. Crazy. They didn't win anything. In 2021 and 2022, they had 5 first-round picks in those 2 years. They hit on every single first-round pick they had except Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And they couldn't win because of it. The thing is, you get all these first-round picks. If you don't hit on a quarterback, none of it matters, and you just, like, lose 2 all-pro players.
So here's where I say that does not matter. What you have
Okay.
to do is you have to change the situation. How you do that, you immediately, when you draft a quarterback, who I think the quarterback they draft should be Fernando Mendoza, but what I think they should do is surround them with the right people, the right receivers, give them a good O-line, put every situation possible for that quarterback to succeed. Don't throw them into the fire right away like they did with Zach Wilson. Sign a veteran quarterback, maybe someone like Russ, because clearly it's worked for the Giants with Russ and Jackson Dart. And next year, you have your rookie quarterback sit under a vet. So 2027, you can start going for it. You still have more picks, and that's the completion of a 3-year rebuild.
It is. I mean, the thing is, too, with taking a quarterback in 2026, I mean, the team is so bad right now, right?
Yeah.
You have to, you have to hit on these picks, right? You have to pick a wide receiver most likely with one of your
Definitely.
first-round picks.
Definitely.
The wide receivers in this class, there's really no, great receivers. They're in 2027. I mean, the offensive line's good. I'll give them that. The thing that I don't understand, so I was pivoting it a little bit. Why do they keep Breece Hall?
So,
I mean, you're looking at a full rebuild. You're maybe trying to keep a player on your team for your incoming quarterback, but I don't know.
So what I saw is that the Chiefs offered a 4th-round draft pick for Breece Hall, which, in my opinion, was a little low, and I think that's probably what the Jets thought as well, because the Jets were trying to get a 3rd. The Chiefs would not give them a 3rd, and because of that, sorry, you're not getting Breece. Breece is a very talented player.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we can think a little highly of him, which I think very highly of Breece. I want the Jets to re-sign him.
Yeah.
I don't know how realistic that is.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I saw his tweets yesterday.
He wants out.
He wants out, and I saw a bunch of reports that he wanted out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough because you don't know how invested he would be to the future.
Yeah.
So there is the argument that they
Why
should
keep
have
him around?
Why keep him around?
Because if he's not going to re-sign, you're not going to get any
Right.
picks for him. You know what I mean?
But also, I understand the Jets' point that if you're not going to get better than a 4th-round pick, you might as well just keep him. But you're also not going anywhere this year, so that's kind of the weird part of
I
it.
think if the Jets obviously fully committed to a rebuild. We saw that. And Breece Hall fully stated, there were reports everywhere saying he did not want to be in New York. He wanted to be traded.
Yeah.
He's not going to stick around for next year, most likely, unless
Right.
the Jets keep him captive by franchise tagging him or something.
or crazy overpay.
Right? So what's the point in not trying to get value for him,
Yeah.
right? You're just keeping him around to just eventually lose him.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a compensatory pick if he goes somewhere else in free agency, which he will, most likely. But, I mean,
But
I think
you'd
just...
rather your 4th-round pick that you got offered from the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's I think they should have taken the pick if they're fully committing to the rebuild. I saw they were offered a 2nd for Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
Again, I think if you commit to a rebuild, he's coming off an Achilles injury. He's been all right this year.
Yeah.
I think you just offload him, right? Like, I don't understand.
He wants to stay, though. I don't know if you saw his
Does it?
posts. He was saying after yesterday, it stinks to see all his teammates leaving and getting traded, but he wants to see this thing through. He wants to see the franchise turned around, and he wants to be a part of that. Similar to what Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner have said when they signed their extensions.
Yeah.
With Brees, you're not really hearing that. With Brees, you're seeing a little bit more of someone that does not want to be here, someone that's frustrated. Kind of the same thing you heard about with Quinnen Williams, which is one of the main reasons why they traded him,
Right.
because he was just simply not happy here anymore.
The thing with Jermaine is that, like I mentioned, he's coming off the Achilles.
Yeah.
He might never return to his best form, right?
Right.
So I don't really see the upside. Maybe he does. Maybe he does return to full strength eventually and becomes the beast we know he can be. But, I mean, just if you're going to commit to this full rebuild, you know the Jets aren't going to be competitive for the next 2 to 3 years. Why not just ship him off for a second? That's the best you're going to – right now is his peak value, right?
Especially after an
right
Achilles
now,
injury. Yeah.
Right after the Achilles injury, you don't know. He's almost like a lottery ticket in himself, right?
Yeah.
He could be Jermaine Johnson, we know, but he also might not be.
Right.
So the 2nd-round pick, you're basically getting another shot at getting somebody better, I think, because we don't know what Jermaine Johnson is. We knew what Quinnen and Sauce were.
Right.
We don't know what Jermaine Johnson is right now. You know what I mean? That's where I'm coming from there.
No, I completely get your point with that. Like, granted, he is a guy that wants to be here, but also at the same time, to your point, you don't know what he is after that injury. So a 2nd-round pick for Jermaine Johnson, to me, seemed actually pretty high.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, I would have thought it would have been a 3rd or a 4th for him. And for Brees, I would have thought you would have gotten a 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, and then with the picks, too, like if you would have gotten a 4th for Brees, a 2nd for Jermaine, you could have probably taken, I don't know, a top-flight running back in the 2nd, or even a good running back in the 4th. We've seen good running backs get drafted to, like, kind of replace Brees, maybe not a one-to-one.
And you also have Braylon Allen, who I think is very talented. He's not at the level that Brees is at,
No.
but we saw him come a pretty long way last year.
He's young, he's talented, he's just hurt.
Yeah,
Makes
he's
me
just
nervous.
injured right now, definitely.
Yeah.
And Brees got hurt early in his career too.
That's true.
But we'll see what we have in him. And also, when you're going to draft another running back, having a different skill set would be good too. If you have 2 running backs, one that can receive pretty well, and then the other that's a power back, that would be.
Well, we keep Braylon around, I guess.
Yeah.
So my plan going forward, I know you mentioned, getting Russell Wilson and then drafting a quarterback this year. I'm curious what you think about drafting a quarterback in 2027, kind of taking a gap year, maybe a gap quarterback. Maybe you could still get Russell Wilson, maybe not draft a quarterback this year, address needs, because if you do take a quarterback this year, the team is not ready. The team isn't ready for anybody to step in at quarterback. You still have Justin Fields under contract for another year. I don't know how bought in the team would be to keeping Justin Fields around and starting. But if you could maybe really kind of build the team from the ground up and then give your quarterback, a rookie quarterback in 2027, everything he needs right out of the gate. I like that idea too. There's guys like Arch Manning. He hasn't played well, I guess, in college this year, but he said he's going to go back to Texas. So you still have another year to evaluate him. Dylan Raiola, he's hurt right now, but he's a big name a lot of people are talking about. Not one of my favorites, but there are so many options that you have going forward in 2027 as well. So I'm curious what you think about that.
So I definitely feel much better about this draft class going for Mendoza, if that's possible, because the big thing for me is at the end of that rebuild, it's not about next year. You want that rookie quarterback to get experience in the organization this next season, so that they have a year to sit. Then I think if you draft them in 2027, I think you almost have to wait another year before competing, because if you want to get this right, if you want to draft a quarterback and have them succeed so the Jets finally have their franchise guy, you have to do it the right way, and you absolutely cannot rush them in.
So I agree with you that the Jets are 3 years out, right? So they'll hopefully be good in 2028. If you draft a quarterback in what is it, 20? If you draft him now, let him sit for 2 years, I don't see that as much of a difference as drafting a quarterback in 2027, and he still gets a year to maybe develop or has the team already there. So the Jets are going to be good anyway, good with air quotes, in 2028. You're still giving your quarterback a chance to develop in 2027 if you draft him then, as opposed to drafting him in this upcoming draft.
I just think consistency is the most important thing, and what I really want is I want the Jets to have that rookie quarterback throughout the entire time. Like, I want him to be the guy that you almost start the rebuild with.
Okay.
Granted, you have a guy like Garrett Wilson already for him. So
yeah, that's true.
That's great, and you have him for 4 more years after this season.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. That's your guy. And then that rookie quarterback, he can develop the same time the team's developing. So he'll already be a few years into the league and know what he's doing by the time that the Jets are ready to compete. And also, too, like, you have so many draft picks that you have to hit on that waiting and guaranteeing this year's are going to be a success so that you can go for them next year, to me, doesn't really make that much sense.
No, I did see, to your point, that Garrett Wilson, teams called about him.
Yeah.
They said he was untouchable. So I do agree that maybe they are looking, if they're going to keep Garrett Wilson around, they have him for 4 years, you might as well get him acclimated. That's actually a good point, with your quarterback as soon as possible. So I actually do agree now that you say it. But it just worries me, right, that he'll step into a team that's completely dysfunctional. So like you said, maybe we'll grab a veteran like Russ that he can sit under. But like, it just makes me nervous that I don't want my quarterback stepping into a 2021 Zach Wilson team. I mean, granted, in 2022, they gave Zach Wilson weapons. He just sucks, right? We can say that now. But they surrounded Zach Wilson with weapons. They gave him everything they needed. But I think 2021, the year that he had nothing, hurt his development so much that the Jets just weren't able to, I guess, succeed.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see that
So,
and go through this cycle again, right?
That's why I want that quarterback to sit for a year or two. And what I also think is, you said Garrett Wilson was untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the idea of wasting Garrett Wilson's prime, because if you think about it, by the time that the Jets would be ready to compete, if you wait till 27 to draft a quarterback, that's probably going to be the final year of Garrett Wilson's contract that you'd be ready to compete. So by that point, you've already let a guy's prime rot on bad
He's
teams.
25 now. He'd be what? He'd be getting up there in age.
He'd be getting up there.
Yeah,
So
that's upsetting to think about.
That's why if you're going to do this correctly, you have to almost speed run the rebuild, but do it smart. You have 5 picks over the next 2 years. Get them right now. And then the last 2 years of Garrett Wilson's contract, you're ready to go.
Right. And then another thing that we haven't really touched on is the defense hasn't been really good this year. It's been all right the last couple games.
Yeah.
So the Jets brought in Jarvis Brownlee. They traded for him earlier in the season. They have a guy like Brandon Stevens, right? And then, like, what I'm trying to get with here is that the Jets were talking about all these offensive weapons they need to acquire to help their incoming quarterback. They need to address this defense.
1000%.
They traded their 2 best defensive players. They have guys like Quincy Williams, who's aging. He's towards the end of his contract. Who knows if they'll bring him back by the time the team is ready to compete. Will McDonald's rookie deal is going to be up. Like, all these factors coming in, you obviously have to address this offense, but the defense, you still have to draft defensive too.
You do.
So
100%.
it's really a lot to address all at once within 2 years, especially if you use one of those picks on a quarterback and you need to take a wide receiver with probably one of your first-round picks. That leaves you with 2 to 3 picks for the defense.
Yeah.
And if you don't draft players to the caliber that you're probably not going to, if you don't hit on hopefully great to Pro Bowl players, this defense is still going to suck. And you need to draft great players in the later rounds too. That's the problem here.
Yeah, very true. And that kind of goes back to the point of, if you are rebuilding, why didn't you trade Jermaine Johnson and Breece Hall for those 2 extra picks that you would have had?
Could address on the defense.
Exactly. So now I think you kind of have to take a step back and think about other ways of addressing the defense.
They do have a lot of cap space now.
They do.
So
they have a lot of cap space where they can spend money in free agency now.
Okay.
But also at the same time, they have to make sure that they get the later picks right too, because the first round picks.
The Jets have been horrible at getting the later round picks right.
First round picks they've hit recently.
They have.
Sauce, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, those guys worked out.
Yep.
But they need to make sure that they do their research and get the guys in the late rounds correct.
Yeah, we see picks like Will McDonald. I didn't love at first, but he's been great.
Yeah.
Olu, not the sexiest pick, but Olu Fashanu's been good. And then the Jets draft Jordan Travis, a guy who retired already.
Yeah, that's just
they draft horrible outside of the first round. And I guess, Darren Muji this year, he had a good first 2 rounds. He drafted Mason Taylor in the second round. But then you have guys, they drafted, what's his name, the linebacker, Mwaga, whatever his name is. He's not a great player.
No.
I get that. Tyler Barron's horrible. So that's the problem here. Just like no Jets team in the past 5 years, Joe Douglas, Darren Muji so far, it doesn't look like they can hit on those picks.
No.
So you really you got to draft well all around, which makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll see what the Jets do. That's all the time we have for you today. We're the Football Fanatics. Have a good one.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Football Fanatics. I am your host, John. Welcome here with Luke and Robert. Today we're going to be going over the mid-season NFL awards. We're going to touch up on MVP, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and then we're going to go off the rails a little bit. We're going to go with the biggest surprise and the most disappointing so far. Let's kick things off with MVP. Guys, what are your thoughts?
I think we look at midseason awards and we don't really know who's going to be the MVP at the end of the year, but Jonathan Taylor has really proved himself to be the most valuable player on one of the most surprising teams, as the Colts. He is the lead of that offense, and it's a historic offense. They're scoring almost every drive. It's insane.
I do think Jonathan Taylor does have to be mentioned. He's carrying that Colts offense. People want to highlight Daniel Jones, but I think he's opening the passing game for Daniel Jones, almost like keeping them in games, keeping them win games. But I do want to say that in the past it has been a quarterback award. So while I do think he's playing outstanding, I'm not sure he'll be able to win MVP with the quarterbacks around, such as Drake May, Matt Stafford.
I feel like we could totally drop Daniel Jones out of this conversation. I think with this past loss to Pittsburgh, I think that this award is just no longer for him. If you want to give him most improved, sure, give him most improved. But I think that MVP is out of Daniel Jones' reach at this point. And like you brought up, the focal point of the MVP award being a quarterback award, and we saw it last year with Saquon Barkley, where people think that he got robbed, he should have won that award. My take is Drake May. I think Drake May has taken this Patriots organization and completely flipped it around. They were a 4-13 team last year and are now 7-2. His numbers have done nothing but just jumped. He's already passed his total passing yards in week 9 of this year than he did all of last season, which is insane.
It's unreal. I agree with you guys. I think it is a quarterback award, and that's why I was kind of hesitant to pick Jonathan Taylor. But if you're looking at what Jonathan Taylor is doing for that offense, it's not even like Saquon last year was, of course, he's rushed for 2,000 yards, and he was kind of the soul of that offense, but they still had other players that were performing. Jalen Hurts was throwing the ball good downfield, which he's not doing this year. And I don't know, I think Jonathan Taylor is really the MVP. He is the most valuable player on his team, and his team is doing well.
I agree. I think that the entire offense kind of revolves around Jonathan Taylor. Like you said, he gives Daniel Jones another alleyway with the running back as going out for a quarterback. You see a lot of screen passes in that offense, and I think that Jonathan Taylor is definitely above Daniel Jones.
And we saw this week when he didn't get going against the Steelers. They couldn't do anything. Nothing worked. Daniel Jones had 5 turnovers.
Nothing worked.
It is a quarterback award. Jonathan Taylor is playing out of his mind.
If you're gonna pick a Colt, you're gonna pick Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, it almost seems like he could almost throw in any type of quarterback in that Colts offense, and with Jonathan Taylor and the threats that they have downfield and Michael Pittman and Josh Downs, any quarterback would do well in that offense.
And not to forget, he's not only just impacting the field, getting yards. He's scoring 3 touchdowns a game for 3 games straight. That's unheard of. Yeah. On top of that, I think he has 14 touchdowns in 9 games, which is just, he's on pace to break. I think LaDainian Tomlinson holds the record. He's on pace to tie it. I'm pretty sure.
Fantasy owners gotta love him, huh?
Yeah.
This past weekend, his only bad game. Before that, he was going crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here we are. We're going back and forth between the Colts and the Patriots. Let's go into the Coach of the Year. Do you think that this award will come down to both Mike Vrabel or Shane Steichen?
Yeah.
I mean, they're both sitting at 7-2, tied for the best record in the league. And I think they're both, most people would say, overperforming where they should be. I think the Patriots were supposed to win like 8 or 9 games this year. They're really outperforming that. The Colts, obviously looking like one of the best teams in the league. So I think currently it probably would be between Vrabel and Steichen.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Vrabel has done a really great job. He's completely changed the culture for the past couple of years with the Patriots. And I think, we can credit that to Drake May, but the coach is the coach. I think Shane Steichen is really doing a great job with that offense and working what he has. I'm a lifelong Giants fan. I watched Daniel Jones for 6 years, and he has never done what he is doing right now. And I'm pretty sure he calls plays. And that defense is going crazy. I think we can Sean McVay could probably win that award every year. He's being great right now with Stafford and the Rams. But yeah, I think if it came down to just I had to pick one for the midseason award, I would probably give it to Vrabel.
Absolutely. How frequently do you see a coach, let alone head coach, come in and just completely flip an organization? They were 4-13 last year. They were, some would say, a poverty franchise, and we know the history behind the Patriots and their legacy. And you kind of saw the dip as soon as
poverty franchise is crazy. I mean, they went on a 20-year run, but
in recent years.
Yeah.
But you saw the dip that they took as soon as Belichick left and Tom Brady left. They kind of missed their pieces, and it took a while for them to kind of gain that momentum. And I think Vrabel is doing a great job in developing these young guys.
That defense looks good too.
Yeah,
they're getting stops. They're forcing
10,
turnovers.
Top 10 in offense and defensive rating in the league, which not many teams can do that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and rookies, I feel like, are impacting NFL teams more than ever. And I think that one guy that's doing a great job is Emeka Egbuka with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep. I mean, he's been great. I think Tyler Warren is great. I think Jackson Dart has been unbelievable. I would say my pick for Rookie of the Year right now would probably be Tyler Warren, just because of how well that offense is. And I mean, we've become so accustomed to seeing these tight ends have crazy like freshman years or rookie years, like we saw Brock Bowers and Sam Laporta, and I think he's doing a great job. He's scoring touchdowns.
He's definitely up there with Brock Bowers last year. You could definitely win the award. I think Egbuka definitely is in contention. I mean, he's become the Bucs' #1 receiver ahead of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, I would say. I don't know. There's a slight chance he could beat Nakua's record of yards. I think he's dipped below that, so probably
he missed
not.
a couple games, or he missed a game.
Yeah. I also think if you're gonna give it, we're talking about quarterback awards for MVP. Yeah. I think if you're gonna give it to a quarterback, I think Jackson Dart. But
He's been great.
I think that team might just be a little bit too bad. You're not gonna give it to a winning team, so Colts.
So you're going Colts everything. I feel like.
I'm not. Trust me, I'm not a Colts fan, but it's just like to see what they're doing. That's like they completely turned around. They're 8-9. No one believed in them. They were 8-9 last year. No one believed in them this year. I saw Pat McAfee talk about how he was like he thought the Colts were going to be good, and he was like, I mean, he's played for the Colts.
Biased.
Obviously, he's a little biased, but we didn't expect this. And I think Tyler Warren has just fit that offense great. I think we can't skip. I mean, Jackson Dart is obviously probably the favorite right now, but I think he might regress with how the Giants are playing. I mean, it's hard to give I know it's not a team award, but it's hard to give a Rookie of the Year award to the leader of a team that's 2-7 right now.
You look at last year, like if you compare Dart to Jaden Daniels, he had that team winning. You know, they made it to their conference final. They had a great year. They had a winning record. So if you're looking at Dart, they have 2 wins.
Yeah.
He's losing most of his options.
I mean, you've also got to factor in the fact that he's down his wide receiver one.
Exactly.
Malik Neighbors out for the season.
But
obviously, Cam Scatterbo getting hurt against the Eagles hurts him a lot.
It's not even like the offense is not producing. Like that offense is producing somehow, and Dart's playing unbelievable. It sucks to see them lose games.
Another name I want to throw out there, see what you guys think, is Ashton Genty. I mean, he goes into Las Vegas, and I knew he had a very slow start to the season. He was getting carries, but not breaking off tackles. He wasn't really getting these big games. But in week 4 against Chicago, I feel like everything kind of turned around. He had 138 yards and a touchdown, which may not seem like a lot, but since then, his role in that offense has only increased.
Yeah, I mean, they let him be himself again. I think I saw something. You know the way he stands behind the line. He wasn't standing like that. He was being coached not stand like that, and then they let him do it again.
How dare
and
they change that?
How dare they change? And then they let him, and then he kind of broke loose. I mean, that offensive line is terrible.
Yeah.
It's awful. He's getting hit behind the line, I think, the most in the league. I heard that stat somewhere. And, yeah,
It's not surprising.
It's tough to run the ball. Like, we saw it with Saquon Barkley on the Giants. Like, he never really besides his rookie year, he never really got going consistently. And, I mean, running is all offensive line.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we're only at week 9 in the season. Yeah. There's still another 9 weeks to be played. I think that injuries will really affect this award. Not necessarily the guys. Obviously, if they get injured, then their shots of the award are dwindling. But the people around them, like with Emeka Ibuka, Mike Evans going down with a broken collarbone is a huge increase with his chances of getting this award because his role in this offense is just going to increase.
He goes everywhere.
Yeah.
He plays everywhere. He's outside. He's in the slot. He does everything for them.
And he's got a great quarterback with Baker Mayfield who finds him deep downfield.
Yeah.
Next, I want to go into your guys' biggest surprises. What do you guys think?
I think the Seahawks would have to be my biggest surprise. They're playing unbelievable right now.
So just as a whole organization.
Just everybody in the Seahawks. And I also want to throw in Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Back into the MVP conversation, too. Because he is playing unbelievable. It's ridiculous. And no one's talking about how the Vikings just cut him loose after a pretty good year last year.
Yeah, Vikings cut loose 2 good quarterbacks in Daniel Jones.
He's playing like a top 10 quarterback. It's unbelievable.
J.J. McCarthy can play well. But, yeah, I think Sam Darnold and the Seahawks overall are definitely one of the biggest surprises. He could win MVP. I mean, in the last game, I think it was, 3 or 4 touchdowns before an incompletion.
Yeah.
They're 6-2. He has one of the best receivers, making him look even better in Smith and Jigba.
But after his best receiver, who does he have?
Pretty much no one.
I mean, they have a great O-line, and he's getting protected, but it's JSN, then it's Torrey Horton.
They just brought in Rashid Shaheed.
They just brought in Rashid Shaheed, so hopefully
I think he'll make a huge impact on that offense.
You would hope for that.
And then they have Elijah Arroyo, who's a rookie tight end, who's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sam Darnold definitely deserves to be in the talks of MVP. Maybe not front runner, but he's definitely improved from last season.
And that team overall, you would think going into the year mediocre. I mean, they could maybe contend.
They could make
a
run.
Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the 1 seed in the
you
NFC
think of
right now.
NFC teams, and we don't really see anybody strong besides maybe the Eagles.
As an Eagles fan myself, I'd like to hope, but yes, that's easily. I mean, the Packers, the Lions, they look worse than you would hope. So
yeah,
I don't know. I am flabbergasted, I'll say, with Joe Flacco's performance this year in the NFL. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. I have nothing but love and respect for Joe Flacco. There's just something about him that I love. I know you guys know that clip, something about Flacco. But obviously, he started the season with the Cleveland Browns. First 4 weeks, he had 815 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions with a 60.3 passer rating. Gets traded to Cincinnati. And the past 4 weeks, he's thrown for 1,250 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions with a 102.6 passer rating. Let me add that one of the interceptions was a Hail Mary that was just picked off in the end zone. He's just proving with each year that he is elite. He's an elite quarterback, and he should be in the Hall of Fame.
He's getting passed around that division. But, yeah, I think he's looked very good on both. Going from the Browns to the Bengals, big rivals, still being able to go in on your first game and play that well, get them a win. At the age of, 40, that's definitely something to shout out.
I'm interested to see how he'll play because he'll play Baltimore twice more if Joe Burrow doesn't end up coming back this year.
He will. He's going to come back.
Burrow's coming back?
Yeah, he's coming back. Especially if they start winning games.
Bench Burrow, who cares?
Bench Burrow.
Why wouldn't you? You got Flacco balling out right now. But I'm interested to see how he'll play against Baltimore. Both
I think
at the bank and at home.
For the first time in a long time, Flacco finally has an offense around him. I mean, we know this Bengals offense is unreal. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. There's a great supporting cast. Chase Brown has been balling, or he hasn't been balling, but he balled last year. I mean, Flacco's been great.
Let's flip the role. Let's go for the most disappointing. Who do you guys have?
I want to mention the Commanders. Obviously, dealing with lots of injuries, multiple and different injuries. Jaden Daniels probably out for maybe the whole year. We don't know yet. I do think we have to talk about his injury concerns. He might be someone to watch out for.
Yeah.
But I just think as a whole, going from the semifinals of the NFL to 2 or 3 wins and definitely not going to make the playoffs is a really bad year.
No, yeah. Someone's got to get Jaden Daniels on some muscle mass gainer or
Yeah.
some creatine. I don't know. He just seems so flimsy out there, and I think that he is the guy for Washington,
of
but I
course.
think that it kind of comes with you got to build the offense around him. You got to stack up that offensive line. I mean,
Yeah.
you have the weapons with Debo and Terry McLaurin, but it's just he doesn't have enough time.
Yeah, I mean, we can't. It's tough because I don't want to get down on him because like his arm popped in half, and that's probably not his fault.
No, that
but,
one I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, there have been injury concerns dating back to LSU.
Yeah,
so
but
when
I
he played
mean,
in college.
with the most recent injury he had with his arm, I think that's on the coach. I think. that
Yeah, I
having
mean,
him
of
in
course.
down whatever the score
31.
was, I think it was 3 possessions.
31.
I mean, that's absurd.
Yeah.
For me, I think Tua Tagovailoa has been nothing but disappointing. And
Yeah.
honestly, going back to the whole organization, the Dolphins organization this season has been so disappointing. He is the 6th highest paid quarterback in the league,
Yeah,
and
he's
is
getting paid a bag.
playing like worse than
One of the
backups.
worst.
He
Yeah.
could be benched by the end of the year for Quinn Ewers.
I thought Mike McDaniel was going to be fired after the loss to Baltimore, and I thought Tua was going to be benched.
I'm surprised nothing has been done.
Yeah, they changed their owner, their GM.
Yeah, I believe
but
their GM.
They said that McDaniel's staying the whole year. Tua's likely going to start the whole year.
They're 2-7.
I don't know how
and
they make
Tua
it
has
through
the most
next year.
interceptions in the league.
Yeah, Tua. I mean, his arm it's bad.
Yeah, his head too. I
It's
mean,
bad. Yeah,
His
his
whole
head. It's
body's-
bad. I would say my biggest disappointment to kind of turn the script here is Cam Ward, which is the number 1 overall pick. I know there weren't many. I mean, the Titans weren't expected to be a great team this year, but their offense has looked atrocious. Cam Ward. It's hard when your head coach gets fired and you don't really have any supporting casts. Like Calvin Ridley's been out for a while. The O-line is really bad, but I mean, they're not scoring.
Yeah, no, it kind of hurts to put the blame on Cam Ward,
course.
and I don't think you can just because he has really no threats downfield.
Yeah.
And
But, like-
also his offensive line is terrible. I think
This
that
whole offense.
that's
But
just a
He has no threats, but like Jackson Dart has no threats
Yeah.
either.
it would be an
And
interesting,
he's scoring.
Yeah, no, you're
interesting
right.
conversation. Do you think the Titans would still pick Cam Ward number 1? If they had
No.
to redraft today, would they still
Absolutely
take Cam Ward?
not.
No, I don't think so.
No, Jackson Dart has been outplaying Cam Ward.
Yeah,
I mean, every single game.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
regret that decision a little bit.
Yeah. Nah, but I mean, this draft class wasn't great overall. So it's not like it's not like a Caleb Williams of
Mhm.
a couple of years ago. So
I think that's
yeah.
something that'll just take time, and honestly, with all of these awards, it's something that is only halfway through the season, and who knows? There could be teams that lose out, and you know what I mean.
Anything can change.
We're in the middle of the season, and there's still 9 weeks left to go.
Yep.
Alrighty, well, that's all the time that we have on Football Fanatics. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you guys for listening.